Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Amber Nigam, the co-founder and CEO of Basys.ai. Thank you so much for joining us, Amber. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm doing pretty good. The weather
Good.
is quite chilly, not to my preference, but what can one do?
Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting into the colder days, so yeah, gotta wrap up nice and warm. But thank you so much for showing up. So, talk to me. What does Basis do? What do you guys do?
So at Basis AI, we are a platform for streamlining prior authorization, which is a process which is set forth by health insurance companies, or they are also referred to as payers. And this process is when, let's say, a doctor is seeing a patient, they have to take approval of insurance companies before assigning someone, let's say, a procedure like a surgery or even
Hmm.
prescribing medications. So this process is right now quite manual. It is done using phone calls and faxes. What
Yeah.
Basis AI is doing is using our proprietary generative AI platform. We are not only streamlining and automating this process, we are also trying to make sure that the healthcare delivery is faster and is more affordable so that we are increasing access to more patients or more members.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're kind of like the middleman between the insurer and the healthcare provider. Is that the case?
I would say we are a technology platform which
Well,
assists
yes.
payers, yeah, assists payers or health insurance companies to
Uh-huh.
integrate with the providers and make sure whenever
Uh,
this request comes in, we are automating and we are streamlining this process as much as we can.
got it. Got it. I get it. So you're the integration between the two. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So then what's your story? Why did you start Basis?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And before that, go into the story. I would also briefly introduce myself. I have 12 years of experience before starting this company, Basis AI. I had a bachelor's degree in computer science. Worked as a data scientist for next 5 years. Filed 3 patents. Instructed a course at MIT called Collaborative Data Science for Healthcare. So I was passionate about healthcare, but I
Yeah.
also previously founded a company called KY.ai, which was acqui-hired. So after I had that exit, I started working with my co-founder on different ideas in healthcare because both her and I, we had an experience which was not very positive with healthcare, and
Yeah.
we felt and we realized there are a lot of things that can be improved. But let's begin with something which is most operational, which is causing the most, I would say, trouble. And
Yeah.
while we were doing a landscape study of which problems we should consider, prior authorization came to be one of those opportunities where the process is very manual. It takes a lot of time. It's a huge cost burden on US healthcare.
Hmm.
So that's how we started the company. The Of course, motivation was both personal and professional. Personal
Yeah.
because we had previously seen in our lives how a bad healthcare process might affect someone severely, and
Hmm.
professional because I feel I like solving most complex problems.
Yeah.
For example, I love math, and although it might not be very related with healthcare, but there are a few processes which math can solve as well,
Yeah.
especially when we talk about machine learning, deep learning, which have
Yeah.
evolved out of linear algebra and math. So
Yeah.
that's my brief answer.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I get it. Like the healthcare system is definitely, it could use some assistance in the tech department. Very archaic their processes. So so I see the need definitely. Um so what is your vision for Basis? What is the long-term goal?
The long term goal is to be that company which is able to define medical necessity in a diverse range of settings, not just in one or two specialties,
Mhm.
and kind of enable a value based care in its true sense. I know value based care has been around for quite some time, and people have been saying it will be adopted one day, but not sure when. So
Mhm.
we do want to be that organization which is leading the charge on making sure everything is medically necessary. We have more access as members and patients. At the same time, care should be clinically appropriate as well. So we want to be that company which drives this transformation, drives this change.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Of
Okay,
course.
so what are some of the challenges or projects that you're currently working on?
So currently, we are working on a couple of things. One is on prior authorization, which is the process that I just talked about. Then there is a bigger problem called utilization management, which is essentially a process that helps in keeping healthcare cost in check. So that's the second part that we are solving for. And the third part that we are also solving for is on the interoperability side. So, for example, if you have one vendor on the payer side, another vendor on the provider side, how do you communicate with each other?
Mm,
So these are the three problems. And if I have to double click on each of those problems now, so for prior authorization, what we do is we take payer information or healthcare insurance information in terms of payer policies, and we encode that into our engine. On the provider side, we also take information such as patient information, history, and we once we have both the information, we combine them together to solve prior authorization. So the answer could be yes, this prior authorization request has been approved, or no, this could not be approved because X and Y information is missing. Or the third approach could also be to present a more affordable care pathway, which is more aligned with the needs of the members or the patients. So that's on the prior authorization side. Second point was on utilization management. In utilization management, if you have to consider it like a panel, there are a lot of levers that can be pushed and pulled. And based on how you push and pull those levers, your cost of care might either go up or might go down. And as a health plan, which is supposed to guardrail the healthcare cost, you have to pay a lot of emphasis on utilization management. And any use of technology, any use of an objective measure that helps in improving it is a positive thing for health plans and patients and members as well. So we help in driving that positive change in healthcare through utilization management. And the
yeah.
third point that I mentioned was on interoperability. So there are a lot of standardizations that happen when an organization has to actually communicate with the other organization. In this case, we are talking about healthcare insurance companies talking to health systems or health providers, and we help them in automating this communication or reducing the back and forth in communication using those standardized mechanisms. So, for example, we use Da Vinci's FIRE standard, but in case, let's say, a provider or a doctor is providing information, even in terms of faxes or like medical documents. We can even read those documents. So we do have that machine learning or deep learning or computer vision capacity to do that.
Yeah.
But on the
That's
other side, we can automate this process as well.
okay. That's really cool. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Seems like you guys do a lot, which is good. So, with all of that in mind, then what sort of opportunities would you have for the Hustle Win community?
Yeah, I feel given where we are, given how bullish we are as a team, we are growing really fast. We are onboarding health plans as a partners. We just closed a small fundraising round of $2.4 million by some of the lead investors in healthcare like Mayo Clinic, Eli
Wow!
Lilly, Nina Capital, not to mention
Congratulations.
some of the others as well. We are
Mm,
also growing our team, and we are looking forward to having our technical team more in numbers and quality as well. So we are looking
mhm.
for data scientists, software engineers in tech team. And on the sales or the business development side, we are also looking to hire someone who has a previous sales experience in healthcare insurance companies.
Yeah.
So that's one perspective I have.
Great. Well, thank you so much. We can definitely get you connected to the right people. So, yeah, we'll definitely be chatting soon. Thank you so much, Amber, for your time. You've spoken so perfectly about Basis and what you guys do. So we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be chatting soon.
Thank you so much, Izzy. Have a good one.
Thanks.